Greetings, Wandering Beekeeper here. Welcome to Venus. The planet hates you and wants you dead. We'll be talking about that more. You get used to it, sort of. It's kind of like the meteor strikes on Mars. It's constant. This is one of the reasons why we are in an underground base, the other being that it's easier to seal up. Venus is a special problem, and it is sneakier than you think. The corrosive atmosphere and the constant storms seem like they'd be a big problem, but all the storms are just kind of window dressing, and once you have a shield generator for your suit, the corrosive atmosphere is just ignorable. No, the problem is the heat. Notice that thermometer up in the upper right saying 20°C. If at any point this bulky oxygen piping, which occasionally has a segment just stop transporting, decides to kick out, we lose temperature control, at which point it goes to 180 degrees Celsius in here. That is a huge problem. Let's start at the reactor. Serious reactor for serious situation. Usual thing going on here. Oh, we haven't programmed this yet. Let's fix that. We take the cyanide and we go to the auto crafting workbench and we drop 8 of them in. It programs it to make plutonium out of the cyanide. Put the cyanide back in the chest. We get a couple of hoppers. Creative mode. Which, in case I'm reasonably sure that if you're watching this video, you've watched some of the previous, so you know that this is all in creative mode. There are constraints, of course, one being that auto-processing of cyanide into plutonium still must happen. So there's that going. We have class at 20°C at the moment. Of course, you come in, the first place you want to go is suit maintenance. There's the ever-present replicator terminal. There are a number of hard suits. There are no light suits. This is Venus. You want hard suits. You want them fully charged. You want them fully equipped with all the necessary kit. You know, I could have sworn I had some other stuff hanging around here, but you know. Alright. The doors are all set to very tight tolerances because it's close in here and it's too easy to walk close to a door and accidentally open it. You don't want to open a door unless you really need to because of the temperature control. Every time you open a door, you're breaching the containment on the room and risking that the seal inside is borked. Usual ME systems, controller hanging out in the open here so that all the faces are available. Ground cable to the assembler arrays and to an in-house terminal because, of course, we want visibility into the grid in the room. Green goes out to the upper levels. Magenta goes through a cable drop all the way down to crew quarters. Red to the crafting cuboids. And then we also have a black here, or fluix rather, that goes over to the drive arrays back in the back. They're pretty massive, yes, and there are some fluid storage cells as well as regular so that we can store sulfuric acid or something if we need to, who knows. Light blue concrete because it stands out well against the Venus rock to let me know where the walls are between rooms. Thank you, our guest performer. Green cable here providing ME, and here's where our cable drops are. And the stairs. Let's head down to level 2. Keeping an eye on that thermometer. Commons and galley. Commons and galley are a little larger. Still very much a corporate break room. And we have a large table that could be used as a briefing room or meeting table, or could be used for holiday dinners, you know. We have a proper couch big enough for 3 people for playing video games. We have a little snack area set up. And in this case, the patterning and interface management for auto crafting for cooking is all in the kitchen. Just put it right here in the galley. You need a cup of coffee? Yeah, sure. Let's make you and me both a cup of coffee. There, now I have coffee for you and me. Went with yellow to give some color and various other spot color of carpet and the couch and so forth, trying to make up for the oppressive environment. Okay, let's go this way. Here we have Oxydome 1, Food Production 1. We have a pipe drop, some pipes and cable dropping to the next level down, and same with the cable here. We go in, and we wait, and we hope that the oxy sealers are working correctly. They seem to be. I would imagine that people living here are going to communicate largely in sign language, simply because verbal communication is going to be so difficult over the storms. So this is the usual wheat and soybeans and a presser, because we had to have somewhere to get all the tofu to make the meat substitutes that are served in the galley. There's some random veg to start filling in. Food production 2. Okay, this is where we start to get fancy. Because we have a lemon tree here. There's only one lemon growing on it, but we have lemons. And we have cinnamon that is actually harvestable wherever it went. I saw it go flying where... Oops. Little bug there. Bug in the code. I don't know where that cinnamon went. Did anybody see where it went? It was that one. Let's pick it up. Ah, got it. Have a cinnamon. And then immediately turn around and pop it into the grid. We have a large amount of corn here, so that we have plenty of cornmeal for making tortillas. Important staple. We have larger quantities of rice and chickpeas, and we have a patch of agave back here, which is our only source of sweetener. It's not our only source of sweetener, excuse me. We do have bees, just not here. So we have cinnamon and lemons going in here. That took some doing, I tell you. Down past the commons, we have food production 3. lot of crop growing here because we'd already gotten everything pretty much planted by the time I got here. There is a nice little patch of carrots and a larger patch of potatoes because potatoes are a staple. I mean, let's face it, this is a foundational item. More importantly, excuse me. Oh, pardon. More importantly, I've gotten pecans to grow. We have pecans and limes. Because if you have tortillas, you're going to need lime juice at some point when to do any sort of decent cooking. So here are limes and pecans and lemons. Getting the Harvest Craft crops to grow here has been difficult. It has been a challenge. Planting a birch first, and then putting the first fruit tree or nut tree within a certain range of the birch seems to be a trick to it. I'm not sure why. The birch appears to function as some sort of guide tree or something. The fruit saplings will respond to bone meal more readily if they are within range of a birch. I don't know why, but this is the observation I've made after multiple planets. And then here we have the reason for the Venus colony, the mining systems. Warning decompression. This is an airlock. We are going into 180 degrees C and hostile atmosphere. And here we have a quarry that is just finished. These actually run extremely fast. I'm using energy clusters with infinite batteries since I'm in creative mode, so they're banging through these pits really fast. Reason for all this to exist. We have ore being processed. Let us transfer over. Of it, we have aluminum, tin. Here's a couple of arc lamps that are in the pit. Yeah. Oops. The tin is nice to have, but it is fairly common. It is also, however, a necessity for building space stations. The aluminum is less common, and at least on the overworld, and I am so glad to see it here. Obviously just cleared a block in the hopper. They're loading aluminum. Aluminum is also a necessity for building space stations. It's harder to find. Let's go on down to the tombs. All the way down to the bottom level, and it looks a little bit like an attempt to be a Holiday Inn, because this is the living quarters, and the living quarters are very sparse indeed. There is a hygiene area, there is a personal area with cabinets and a little bitty workstation, and the cryogenic chamber you sleep in. There is no pretense here that Venus is safe enough to sleep in a bed. No, everyone sleeps in a cryogenic chamber. These 4 rooms are all identical. Hopefully the people here rotate out on a regular basis, or are working on building something a bit nicer for longer residence. Right now, this is a mining station. It is a very unpleasant world. I, for one, would not want to have children here. Let's go. This is what passes for a nice day on Venus. It's not raining. Me and my big mouth. That is sulfuric acid coming down. Just so you know. I should have, there it is, on my heads-up display, a navigational beacon. We do have some outdoor quarrying going on. Going on. I was doing some tactical mining here, chasing a dungeon, and ran into sulfuric acid. And that is fairly deep, and there's just no way I'm going to be able to block it off and destroy that many source blocks in order to get past it. Sulfuric acid is like oil or lava. A quarry device simply will not challenge it. You can see it's quarried around the edge of the flow and then quit. So, yeah, it even makes bloop bloop noises like lava, doesn't it? Or there's that could be the lava pool behind me. There is a lava pool right over here. Yeah. Open lava pool with sulfuric acid raining down into it. Continuous thunder and heat that wants to kill you and your food supply. I had a temperature failure, an air failure in one of the food domes. In one tick, all my crops were gone, all the water was gone, all the foliage was gone, and all that was left of the trees were 4 dead stumps sticking up out of baked dirt. Making the repairs to the air systems didn't take that long, but repopulating the dome, replanting, that took a while. Especially because I had to regrow a fruit tree, which took a few tries. Venus hates you, does not want you here. We are really not meant to be here. Leaving, I am moving on. I will make a token effort at the high altitude research station that the planet does not want me to build. I'll make a token effort because it's there, and it's a point that I need to check off on the list. But then we are moving on to the asteroids, or to Mercury, or to somewhere. Mercury, yeah, I don't know if we can do that. We'll check on that. The asteroids at least won't be actively trying to kill us. I am the wandering beekeeper. I'm out here so that you don't have to be. Safe journeys, space fans, wherever you are.